Hello, my friends. My name is Johnny Vedmore. I'm the founder of NewsPaste, and I'm going to give you another little bit of information that the MSM will not tell you. And again, I'll tell you, the MSM is everybody from the BBC, The Guardian, The Mail, even Joe Rogan and Piers Morgan. A lot of these guys will not tell you this information. Maybe they'll tell you it in some other time later on down the road, but they'll make sure that it comes through their channels. It's very carefully and subtly edited to look at prospectively, subjectively, and have no objectivity. This is the problem with these channels, including channels like InfoWars and stuff. What they do is look at the subjective. They do not look at the objective truth. And this is what we're here doing. So let's look at something that we were talking about last time, a very important subject, which is Epstein's relationship with people within the UK government and the UK itself. Last time I talked about the secret meeting in the UK, protected by UK Secret Service, where Epstein and Nicole Youngkerman met with the heads of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, Richard Shelby and Bob Graham. Now, the fact that no one will report on that secret meeting that happened on the 1st of September 2002 and was part funded and protected by the British taxpayer, the fact that no one will actually tell you about that in the mainstream media should be mad to absolutely everybody. But there's much more. In fact, a lot of that government who was in power then, a lot of the politicians who were in power, and that's 2002, so that's right in the center of the Blair years. That's right in the center. If I'm right, Blair was elected in 1997 and left power in 2007, if I remember correctly. So 2002, right smack bang, 5 years into a 10-year term, basically, there is Tony Blair with his second in charge, Gordon Brown, and in amongst their ranks were Ed Balls, Ed Miliband, Yvette Cooper, and others. David Miliband, others too. Now, these people were extremely prominent and extremely important when deciding to use falsified evidence to take us to war, an illegal war in Iraq. These people were central. So, will we find any connection between them and the American deep state that could suggest that they were involved in planning out an illegal war, and they were involved in betraying the British people, their electorate and the taxpayers on behalf of the American deep state? You know, if we were to find that all of these people were somehow taken in by a network of CIA-linked high-grade elite politicians and, say, Jeffrey Epstein and the like, during the same, earlier on, when they were at their rise, when they were being trained, if we could say that happened, then we would have a big conversation to have. Surely Piers Morgan would be reporting on it. Surely it'd be all over the Daily Mail. The BBC would be telling everybody. No doubt at all. The BBC would. Channel 4 News. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they be reporting? Imagine links. Imagine that Ed Balls, Yvette Cooper, Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, David Miliband, Ed Miliband, that they all had connections to the American deep state, that were in the same, swimming in the same circles, that were meeting regularly with people like Jeffrey Epstein. Imagine that. Well, let us return in time. Let's go back to, say, all the way from the late 80s to 1992 especially. 1992 is an important year in America. It's an election year, and Bill Clinton's running for power. He's not only running for office, but Bill Clinton is looking like he's going to be a favorite, and he's reinventing the Democratic Party to something that eventually the Labour Party will copy the style of. It will be the New Democratic Party in America will claim they're no longer a left-wing party. No, they're more of a centre party. They're a third way party. For those who don't understand third way politics, you can go to newspace.com and read the Clinton, Blair Clinton and Clinton, the third way dossier, which is on the drop down menus. A massively important article if you want to understand our current political structure. Most people don't understand our current political structure, and most people don't even know the term third way, though they're living within third way politics, because none of the politicians or the MSM will report on what's really going on. They've built you a completely different paradigm. And it starts off here. Let's go back to 1992. Let's go back to Clinton. Who's working on the Clinton campaign in America during this period? Clinton, may I remind you, had just been running the state of Arkansas, where MENA was used to fund, and with the help of Clinton, fund large parts of the Contra side of the arms smuggling in Iran-Contra. The Iranian side was part financed and sorted out by Jeffrey Epstein, and was mainly organized, and the whole actual Iran-Contra affair was the idea, originally the brainchild of Cyrus Hashemi and Stanley Pottinger, one of Epstein's victims' lawyer, one of Virginia Giuffre's lawyers. So he's dead now, by the way. So the third way system, this system is a very interesting system, and it purges the left of the party and forces everybody into center ground, which means the right has to compete, and basically pushes the right out of power and causes a breakdown of right-wing parties. So it is a very clever, third way politics is a very clever way to take control in the country. And a lot of these future Labour elites were watching this. At home was John Smith, who was the leader of the Labour Party, who said, I'm not interested in any of this Clinton stuff over here. He actually used the F word to describe it. He said effing Clinton stuff over here. I won't have any of it. When Blair and Brown came back and asked him, but Yvette Cooper was working on Clinton's campaign during 1992, heavily working on the Clinton's campaign. At the same time, her future husband, Ed Balls, was studying and was taking a spot at Harvard University, where he was working with Robert Reich and Larry Summers and the like, who were also working on globalist technocratic programs that would lead to things like the Young Global Leaders program. He was part of the first year of the Young Global Leaders program. We'll get on to that. Larry Summers, Robert Reich, Ed Balls were all hanging around in the same circles, as was Yvette Cooper with Clinton's people, as was Ed Miliband and David Miliband, who were both based over in America during that period. They were already, Ralph Miliband was already based over there, so they were already part of it. When Tony Blair and Gordon Brown saw what third way politics was, they went over and they went and visited Clinton. They went and visited Clinton on the first week that Clinton was in office, at the same time that Epstein was visiting Clinton, supposedly for the first time. And remember, Epstein, from that first time in January 1993 onwards, for the next 2 years, would visit the White House officially 17 occasions. And during that time, of course, there's Gordon Brown and Tony Blair getting very excited and coming to visit Clinton to find out, and Clinton's people to find out about third way politics, and go back to John Smith and say, please let us incorporate this there, and him saying, I'll have none of that effing Clinton stuff over here. Thank you very much. I call him an honest man, John Smith, because I think he was. So third way politics, rejected by the old Labour Guard, was being lauded over by all of these guys who were over working in the Clinton circles, Clinton campaign, at the same time that Epstein was hanging around in these same circles. Yet, our Piers Morgan or any of the other mainstream platforms asking that question. Are they asking, Tony Blair, did you know Jeffrey Epstein? When did you first meet him? Gordon Brown, when did you first meet Jeffrey Epstein? Ed Balls, when did you first meet Jeffrey Epstein? Yvette Cooper, when did you first meet Jeffrey Epstein? Ed Miliband, when did you first meet Jeffrey Epstein? Because I can promise you, all of these guys are turning in the same circles. It's not going to be hard for really turning in the same circles. Third way politics was being taught via the Epstein-funded Edge Foundation to some of the elites as well. And in 1992, this is 1992, 1993, Tony Blair and Gordon Brown go over there, and then they're all part of something which is called the World Economic Forum's Leaders for Tomorrow. I can't remember what the first initial name is, but it was the Young Global Leaders Program, which was first officially, the initial version of it was run in 1993 and included Tony Blair, Gordon Brown. It included Angela Merkel, Nicolas Sarkozy, Viktor Orban, Larry Summers, and others are there. Richard Branson's there as well. And these are the Young Global Leaders, Global Leaders for Tomorrow, I believe it was called. And this was a really important course as well. This was a really important moment of training. In actual fact, a lot of these leaders have to go through training programs that are heavily connected with intelligence, with American intelligence. This includes the International Visitors Leadership Program, which both Tony Blair and Gordon Brown attended. I think they both attended it twice before this period. Even we get to this period. They had gone over to America and already taken part in the International Visitors Leadership Program, where they're choosing the future leaders. The American elite are choosing the future leaders for places like the UK. They're meeting with people who are completely and utterly awash with folks like Jeffrey Epstein, because most of it is intelligence. The intelligence community has really taken over politics. Intelligence community, by this point, are the gangsters who are deciding how our political systems are going to run. They're the ones who are going to be forging our world and creating the fake wars and manipulating us and running seminars during the following years. In the following decade, they would run seminars at the Edge Foundation about manipulating people, about using the what they call the choice architects to manipulate people as well, by using nudge units, which get incorporated into British government as well under David Cameron, and American government under Obama. The agenda and the people there, they're all the same people. And this may seem like a mess, a wash, and it may be hard to work out where you go from the start. Well, you have to start off by understanding the political system that they use to chain us, and that is third way politics. And third way politics, if you want to understand that, go to newspace.com, look for the drop down menu where it says the thirds, and you'll see the third way, Blair and Clinton, the third way dossier. And it'll give you an important first step into the future, understanding what these guys are doing and why they're doing it. And they've taken over our world. They've taken over. It's no conspiracy. It's just fact. They used the idea of conspiracy to stop you from questioning how they conspire. That's it. The conspirators have used the term conspiracy to make you look away from their own conspiring. It's a really simple trick.
Sweat it out. Wobble, 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 rub my mouth. Sweat it out. Wobble, 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 rub my mountain. Bad times, Swelter, swelter, fry. Wobble, 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 rub it dry. Swelter, 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 fry. Wobble, 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 my soggy thigh. The Prince of Darkness, no, that's not me. The Prince of Hearts, I'm not so lovely. The Prince of War, I'm way too busy. I'm the Prince of Sweat. Get on your knees. I'm a lot like Daddy, I don't give a damn. I'm a lot like Uncle Louie, dance around the pentagram. I'm a lot like Daddy, I don't give a damn. I'm a lot like Uncle Louie, dance around the pentagram. The Prince of Darkness, no, that's not me. The Prince of Hearts, not likely. The Prince of War, I'm way too busy. I'm the Prince of Sweat. Get on your knees. Sweat, 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 sweat it out. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Sweat, 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 sweat it out. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Sweat, sweat, sweat it out. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Sweat, sweat, sweat it out. Wobble, 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 wobble. Sweat, sweat, sweat it more. Wobble, 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 electric horse. Sweat, 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 sweat it more. Wobble, 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 electric horse. The Prince of Darkness, no, that's not me. The Prince of Hearts, I'm not that lovely. The Prince of War, I'm way too busy. I'm the Prince of Sweat. Get on your